So I think that the key to any successful strategy, communication strategy being no different, is that you have to have a goal in mind. What are you trying to accomplish? And then social media is just one of the tactics that you would employ in communicating your message. And so once you are clear on exactly what you're trying to do, are you trying to recruit new employees? Are you trying to sell a product? Are you trying to build a brand? Going through that kind of self-questionnaire about what exactly your goal is will dictate quite a bit about what you're looking for in terms of consulting expertise, and then you would be looking for experience in an expert that would have done or accomplished that goal previously.
Minor addition. Social media is free, and there's zero cost to exit. So you don't know what type of person you're looking for until you've tried these tools. And it's not an all or nothing game. You could just join, make up some name, SoCalBio dude, and just swim around a little bit, see how people are communicating, and then you'd say, you know what we need? We need a timely communicator who's concise with their messages, because we're going to focus primarily on Twitter. Or you know what? We need to build a community. We need someone who understands the professional network and can build a LinkedIn group for us. Swim around, it costs you nothing, and the time will be worth it because you'll understand what these individual tools are. So when you find an expert consultant, you know what to ask them.
You may also want to go to some of the conferences. There seems to be a growing number of conferences. There just was a 2-day Twitter conference in LA, and see, you know, a lot of the experts, just like tonight, you've got a whole table of experts to choose from, and you'll be able to hear other experts give their opinions. And it's just like any other person that you're going to hire. There has to be a good chemistry and an understanding between the two of you that, you know, this feels right. Is there any life science company out there that you feel is doing an exceptional job in the social media area that you've come across, or is it too early, or what's your feeling about that?
So there are a number of informatics-specific companies, especially research informatics, that are doing a very good job. The most successful companies are ones that aren't just advertising. They are trying to repackage scientific content so that you would be paying attention to their Twitter feeds, or, you know, in an older sense, just checking their website to stay current with science, whether it be in personalized medicine or translational research, which are my fields, or whatever your scientific field might be. One particularly good one is InfoSense, which was just acquired by IDBS. They're very good at having 3/4 to maybe 80% of all of the information they put out being not specific to their company, but just related to what is current in the field.
23andMe is the company I would cite. It's kind of a bioinformatics company, and of course, you guys in California can't use 23andMe, but they do a really good job. They've been blogging for years. They've got a great Twitter presence, and you know, just in my exposure, I've known some of the people that have been responsible for that effort, and they're outstanding in what they do and in their community, and they're very well respected. So I would cite 23andMe as a very good example.
And describe what they do.
So 23andMe is a consumer genomics company. So you can, if you don't live in California, put about 2 milliliters of spit into a vial, mail it to them, and they will scan your genome for 200,000 or so mutations that you might have that could tell you anything about disease risk to ancestry to so on, and they'll provide that information back to you.
And they do it for $1,000.
Correct.
No, they dropped their price.
Oh, did they really?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's $200 now.
Whoa.
So let me just add, I did a little...
You get what you pay for.
Google's backing.
So their blog, 23andMe's blog, is called spittoon.23andme.com, and they have their Twitter address is 23andme, and they have a Facebook fan page. So, you know, a little quick, you know, research pulled up about, you know, 20 bioscience companies here that are out there already with blogs and Twitter accounts, and in feeds. And one of the things I suggest is figure out who your most direct competitor is and go find out what they're doing, okay, as far as blogging and Twittering and on their page, okay? Because, these little sheets, I can tell you the bioscience community is out there actively using social media, okay? And if your company isn't, okay, you are behind the power curve and the train is pulling out of the station. Is that too strong, Susan, if I,
I just have two more quick questions and then we'll open it up. Some are saying that unless you're selling widgets, websites are now passé. Do you agree, or do you think that they're just as important as they've always been?
I'd love to take that one.
Yeah, I wonder who said this.
I was just going to say.
It's kind of interesting. I'm not a big believer in static websites anymore. And so what do I mean by a static website? I mean, it's a website where I'm just simply presenting information and people aren't presenting information or responding to information back. I think there's a lot more power in a blog where people can comment. And why is a blog more powerful than a static website? I'll just make up an example. Let's say you have a lawnmower company. Now, it's one thing for me as a lawnmower company CEO to have a website to tell you that I've got the best lawnmowers on earth. You absolutely should buy my lawnmower because of the great value. It's technologically the best in the world. Great, of course I'm going to say that. It's my company. I'm in business to make a profit. Conversely, with a blog, the advantage is now you're drawing people to you who are fans, or to me, let's say, in the case of my lawnmower company, who are coming onto my blog saying, you know what, Mark, I bought one of your lawnmowers and I have to tell you, it's the greatest lawnmower I've ever owned. Funny thing happens, somebody else joins in on the blog, also makes a comment, you know what, I think this specific model is the best model. Somebody else responds back, I've had great luck with that model too. Now all of a sudden, and I'm using this just hypothetically, but all of a sudden we have a conversation where I, as the company owner, am not telling you how great my lawnmower is. I've just created a community of users, of purchasers who are talking about how great my lawnmowers are. That sense of community, that sense of ownership in my company is what makes social media and blogging so powerful. You're going to find that your fans are going to be your best marketers because they're the ones that are going to move from your blog, go onto Twitter, go onto Facebook, and the sense of connection and community is what makes it so powerful and why it's going to change the world.
I just have a little bit of context to add to that. I think maybe what they were saying when they made that statement was to draw the distinction between the way the web was and the way the web is. Anyone who's been online and looked at anything having to do with social media has heard the term Web 2.0, and that distinction was raised to draw a line between the static web page, write-only publish web, and the read-write web, where you're putting things out and you're getting responses, interaction back. So I certainly think we're in the 2.0 era, and you need to have some responsiveness and not just a static web page. But in the end, you can't live by Twitter alone. You have to have some links to send out to somewhere.
Susan, I think I'd agree with that. Our two websites, we have websites and blogs attached. Okay, so we do both. The Prostate Cancer Awareness Project has a series of 5 websites dealing with specific, events and issues that people around the country would be interested in, and has blogs attached to those. So I think it depends, age graded. How many people here, I've got to ask this question, how many people here, raise your hand, actively look at blogs every day?